Kraaiberg Pass is a steep and winding gravel road over the Kraaiberg mountain, which forms the southern barrier to the Bido Valley. The road connects the Bido Valley with the higher altitude farms to the south and east. Some of the gradients are steep, and there are 3 hairpin bends to contend with. We would not recommend driving this pass in a normal car, but a high clearance bakkie will manage, except in very wet weather. There are long sections in this pass which are very stony, which will present problems for low clearance vehicles. Head east out of Clan William on the tarred R364 over the Pakhuis Pass for 32 kilometers and turn right at the turnoff to Wuppertal and the Bido Valley, which is a perennial favorite for flower spotting. It's gravel all the way as you head south-southeast for 12 kilometers over the Kraaiberg Pass and descend down to the Bido River Valley. Just after crossing the bridge at the farm, take the next turn to the left and drive for 640 meters and stop at a closed farm gate on the right-hand side of the road. This is the start of the Kraaiberg Pass. Please make absolutely sure that you close this gate behind you. If you've not already done so, we recommend deflating your tires to at least 1,4 bar. Not only will this prevent shaking and make the drive a lot more comfortable, but it also reduces the chance of punctures as well as improves traction. This pass forms part of the Bido 4x4 route for which a permit is required and is obtainable from the Mertenshof farm at the bottom of the valley. It's not necessary to have a permit if you're only going to drive the pass and return again. The best gearing for this pass is first and second gear high range. The road heads resolutely up the hill at a fairly easy gradient. It can be seen much higher twisting and turning through big switchbacks towards a low point in the mountains ahead. The big mountain to your left is the real Kraaiberg, which has a summit height of 930,9 meters. The road remains on the western side of a narrow ravine formed by the Klein Doringrivier as it ascends at a gradient of 1 in 14 via a series of fairly easy corners. At the 2,2 kilometer mark, the first set of switchbacks have to be tackled. Here the gradient gets suddenly steeper to below 1 in 5 as the road rapidly turns through the double switchback. The first hairpin has an angle of 170 degrees and the second one is a full 180 degrees. As one drives through these big changes in direction, your passengers will be able to enjoy the rapidly changing vistas of the mountain scenery, but once through the switchbacks, the direction settles back down into the south-southeast. Once through the first hairpins, there's a long straight stony climb for 600 meters, whereafter the road turns away to the west in a wide right-hand bend of 90 degrees. This is the approach to the much wider third hairpin, which lasts for 560 meters. Along this section, there are beautiful views over the Bido Valley, and the Kraaiberg Pass can be clearly seen in the distance on the far side of the valley, snaking its way down the mountainside towards the Mertenshof farm. The third and final hairpin occurs at the 3,9 kilometer mark and curves steeply through 155 degrees as the heading changes into the east. The gradient remains at or below 1 in 5 along this final climb towards the summit, as the road follows a very wide right-hand curve for the next 500 meters. Make a note to stop at the 4,4 kilometer point, which is not the true summit, but it is the best place to stop to enjoy the magnificent views. From here, the view is simply out of this world. The elevation gives one a great perspective of the size and scope of this part of the northern Cederberg, and specifically the Bido Valley. To reach the true summit, drive further for another 600 meters till you reach the 5.1 kilometer mark, where the pass officially ends. The road can be seen heading away over the low ridges down the mountaintop into the south-southeast. From the summit, the road descends for a while to the farm Agterfontein. From there the heading remains easterly as the next farm Waterval is reached, and another 4 kilometers brings the traveller to the final farm, which is Seifering. This farm marks the end of the road and is a cul-de-sac. You have to now retrace your route all the way back to the start.